Hi, I'm Christina Tidwell. I'm a registered nurse and holistic health coach and founder of Live Well with Christina. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about how to eat for energy and get rid of that 3 p.m. energy crash. So I don't know if you know the one, but I used to get it so badly when I was working as an intensive care nurse. And my shifts back then were all over the place. I had morning shifts, evening shifts, night shifts. But I found consistently that I was getting these really bad energy crashes, and it was always around 3 p.m. to the point where it almost felt like my eyelids were kind of fluttering shut or closing, and I was so exhausted. I just wanted to rest my head down on my desk. And I found myself consistently feeling like I needed to have really fast-acting, sugary comfort food treats around that time. So I would go down to the coffee stand. I would buy coffee, fuel with caffeine, was averaging probably 2 or 3 coffees a day at that point because I felt like I needed it. And was, would grab little chocolatey treats or even these like gross little gummy frog things I didn't even like, but were just an instant sort of sugar fix. Down at the cafeteria, and a lot of other people were coming with me doing the same thing right around 3 p.m. And I thought that was normal. I thought maybe our human bodies were just created to require excess sugar and caffeine around the 4 p.m. hours to reboot. But what I have later found out is that is not necessarily normal. So tell me, have you experienced this? And if you're listening to this, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. Do you know what I'm talking about, this 3 p.m. energy crash? It's the real deal. It's no joke. And it can be really tough to come back from that during the day. So what was happening is I was going and getting this caffeine, these really quick, easy sugar fixes, which would spike my blood sugar and ended up creating what I like to call an energy zapping cycle, or this vicious blood sugar roller coaster that I kind of got stuck on. So what happens is these, quick acting carbohydrates and sugary foods boost up our blood sugar. Our body doesn't like having excess blood sugar in our blood vessels. So our pancreas secretes insulin, which is a hormone that helps escort the blood sugar into our blood cells to utilize for energy. So after you have this quick boost, you get a surge of insulin, brings the blood sugar into the cells, and so that leads to a crash. A blood sugar crash or a state of hypoglycemia, which can cause fatigue, cravings, feeling hangry, feeling irritable. And then what we do is we seek out some more quick-acting carbohydrates to raise that blood sugar. So you can see how it becomes a vicious cycle. And it is definitely an up and down roller coaster of blood sugar. So there are a few ways to get out of this energy zapping cycle. And that is what I want to share with you guys. I don't know about you, but for a long period of my life, I just sort of considered food as something that was necessary to eat. But the most I thought about it really was in terms of, I guess, calories or, how eating more or little affected weight loss or calorie intake. But I never really considered how and what I ate affected how I felt, affected my energy levels, and how food was really something I could use as fuel. So this is what I want to share with you guys. And what I've done is I've broken it up into 5 steps as opposed to doing one big fat webinar. What I'm going to do is over the next 5 weeks, just share each of those steps that I guide my coaching clients through and that I've done myself. So it's a little bit easier and more manageable. And what you can do is take the first step, act on it that week. We can talk about it, what's working, what isn't, and go week by week and implement this so we can get you out of that energy zapping cycle and not have those 3 p.m. crashes. So the first step in how to eat for energy and get rid of that 3 p.m. crash is to balance your blood sugar and eat regular meals. So take a minute and think about your routines. Are you someone that skips breakfast, never has breakfast, maybe goes into work or starts your day and ends up not eating anything for about 3 hours and all you've got in your tummy is maybe a cup or 2 of coffee? Is that how you usually operate? Or do you eat breakfast, but then you get to work and you have a really busy job, or you're busy taking care of kids driving everyone everywhere, and you don't really get a chance to have a real lunch or a real meal. So you end up going for about 4 or 5 hours in between eating until you find yourself ravenously hungry, willing to eat literally anything that is placed in front of you. Is that how your day is structured? Or do you not have any snacks on hand usually? So you leave work, go work out, come home, and you are so hungry because you haven't eaten anything in that span of time that you end up just binging and having a huge dinner, feeling really full, fatigued, and kind of compensating that way. Just have a think about it this week, and you might not even totally be aware. Sometimes we get so busy we don't realize what our routines are and what we do on a daily basis. But just, yeah, the first step is getting aware of what you are doing there and how that is affecting your blood sugar levels and then your energy. So for me, I am someone that needs to eat pretty regularly to keep my blood sugar levels up and to feel good. And when I don't, I can definitely feel it, that blood sugar crash. This is not something I was aware of before. I am aware of it now. And so what I do and what I think is a good first step in balancing blood sugar is to eat regularly. And by regularly, I mean eating 3 planned meals and 2 snacks. And this is different to grazing all day long. So we don't want to graze all day long. We don't want to just be consistently popping things in our mouth, sipping lattes, because what that does is stimulates our pancreas to be constantly producing insulin, which down the line can lead to insulin resistance. It's not a good idea. We need to give our body a break from digesting. But if you are stuck in this up and down blood sugar roller coaster and you are going for really long periods of time without eating anything, it can be a really, really good idea to just start there and plan out 3 meals and 2 small snacks. Snacks can be things like fruit and almond butter, hard-boiled eggs if you tolerate that, some trail mix, guacamole and veggies, good quality deli meat, an avocado, something easy. It can be really small, but just start out with this, and it's gonna help just keep that blood sugar level pretty even. Now, I know that some people do better when they don't eat for longer periods of time, or you hear about people fasting or eating 1 meal a day, whatever. Totally acknowledge we're all different. Not everyone needs to eat this 3 meals and 2 snacks, but you'll find that out. I just think it's a really good place to start if you are constantly having these blood sugar energy crashes. The main way to do this involves a little bit of meal prepping and planning. And that's why I say that batch cooking or meal prepping is probably the #1 thing you can do to set yourself up for success when you're trying to feel good and eat healthy. So I'm gonna attach my batch cooking meal plan in the comments for you guys. You can use as a guide. Batch cooking just literally means cooking a larger volume of food in one setting. So this could be on Sunday, making some turkey meatballs, roasting some veggies, and making some sort of breakfast sweet potato hash or something. Having that so that you can either eat it for breakfast, take it to work for lunch, or when you come home from work or from the gym, or from driving everyone around all day in your busy schedule, you have something you can easily eat right there that you know is going to be good food, that's going to help keep that blood sugar up and help you feel sort of more stable. So that's a really, really key piece, and definitely the first step in all of this. So what I'm going to do next week is share what types of foods are the best to balance blood sugar. But for now, we got to kind of pay attention to this piece and get this locked down first. So you can use the batch cooking meal plan as a guide, as inspiration. Don't have to follow it to a T or use everything in it. And let me know how you go throughout the week, and let me know what you uncover about your eating pattern. So it's not always about what we're eating, but it's how we're eating as well. So I would love to know how you're progressing, and I'm definitely excited about keeping this going next week so we can get you out of this energy zapping cycle, because like I said, it is not necessarily normal and it doesn't need to happen every single day. So let's boost our energy, and this is the first place to start. All right, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks.